Shalom all, this is your brother Martin, and this video is kind of the second part to the Warning to the Remnant video that I put up last time. I had said that I would get into a revisit of the Abomination of Desolation table. I have a video on that earlier, which now this is an update to that, and I'm looking at the table right here. But as a reminder, the last video was about this table that code searcher Chris Ray, Bible Code Theory Research, found back in 2013. And so the start of this was my attempt to reproduce the table, and I covered that in the last video and the journey that it led me on. Now for me, whenever you talk about the end times, things go together. This code table artwork goes together with people's dreams and visions and scripture. And when I think about, the dreams of end time scenarios, there's basically two that I keep coming back to and hearing about in various prophecy groups cite. One is of tsunamis, the other is of nuclear missiles. And so one of the things that I did in this revisit of this table was to ask the question, what is it? Is it tsunamis? Is it missiles? And so I searched both terms. Tsunami didn't show up. And as you can see in the table, the other one did show up. And in fact, it's consistent. If I look at multiple tables, they show up in every table. And I'm going to try and unpack some of this for you in this video. So now, as you can see, some of the terms that were in the Prince of Rosh and Meshach tables about this event, this third war starting in Kiev, with the Prince of Rosh, who we've said is associated with Russia, what this table describes. And this is a hard word for me to put out. I was told to put this word out. And depending where you are in your walk, there are some people who are waiting in anticipation for the crap to hit the rotating air movement device, whereas others who are not expecting such things are going to be very, very caught off guard, upset. I don't know even how to put it. Their whole world is going to change in a blink of an eye. So I'm just a messenger. You may want to shoot the messenger, but I'm a messenger and I'm being obedient. So one of the things, I'm going to show you a word that I got, that multiple people got. And when we receive this word, the first thing that we receive when we receive this word is do not fear. So although I'm revealing some information to you about what these types of searches in the Bible may or may not tell us, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just showing some statistical anomalies in a 3,000-year-old book. Now, let's go look at the structure of the table, because the structure of the table is very, very interesting. In Daniel 11 and 12, you see this event described various ways. I'm just labeling both the Abomination of Desolation because that's the event, but in some cases it says the event that makes the abomination that makes desolate, or the abomination that lays waste. Anyway, the point is it's the same event. And so there's one sighting in Daniel 11, which is up here, and then there's another in Daniel 12, which is here. This code table is in the plain text, so these are the words encoded around that passage in the plain text. It starts with all of the things around the jabs. Those are a time marker of how this abomination starts. But the most important addition to this, and the reason I was told to put these terms in this table, was that all of these things related to this event are in this table. So you can consider this the Abomination of Desolation, and not just the jabs. The jabs are only the start of it. And the blood moon this year on 15 ER, which falls in May, was the signaling event in the heavens to tell us that this is underway. Now I'm going to say this term only has this table only has this year in it, and I've searched the other years and they do not appear. But I'm going to show you another table that has another year in it, and I'm going to ask you to. I know how I interpret it. I'm going to tell you how I interpret it, and I'm going to ask you to pray on it and do whatever you need to do to understand and have ears to hear. So let me just walk you through this table. So around Abomination of Desolation, we have the various terms that I brought up in this event from the Prince of Meshach table. The invasion, the missiles starting in Kiev, with the blood moon being the signal of it. One of the main terms in here that I was looking to validate was this term atomic. We have a timing marker of Sukkot, which if you follow the calendar, you know when that is. It's soon. Russia, all those other terms are in here. Third war sort of is the base of the table here. It starts here at this Shin, and then Shin, Lamed, Yod, Shin, Yod. So it goes around those three lines. Shalishi. We have the time marker here when that occurs. Although I'm not dealing with certainties, like I said, I'm dealing with statistical anomalies in a 3,000-year-old book and who it affects, the remnant. So now the other thing I will show you in this table, because it's hard because the terms are bunched together, is I put some other terms in here that you're going to see in just a minute, because I'm going to bring this up now, not documented like this so that I can explain the terms, but in the raw code program. This is the same table. This is the live data, not the version in PowerPoint where I put the English on it so you can read it. So the thing about this is that you'll see this is where it says Abomination of Desolation. Around this term is Russia, right? It's all around that term. It's encoded in the verses leading right up to that term and just past it. So it is literally encoded at a skip of 51 over top of those two sentences that have the Abomination of Desolation in them. And then around that is encoded submarine. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Submarine. So Russia is here. Submarine is around that. This describes an event. It describes an event that affects the remnant. Like I said, I'm not dealing with certainties, but I was told to issue this as a warning, and so I'm being obedient. So now let me show you the next table, which is, I literally just got the word about this today, and this goes hand in hand with this Abomination of Desolation update. So again, this table was found in June of 2020, and I just updated it today to match the info that I was given. And I heard a word which was the same word that one of my brothers heard in a vision, the exact same word, which was, "Fear not, he comes on the storm." So, what is the Hebrew for "he comes on the storm"? Closest thing I can find is "he comes as the storm." So that would be these letters. That is the access term of this table. This table is in Ezekiel and Jeremiah. As you will see, it has the same, the things about the jab and the things about this event, the abomination. It has a different year in it. Again, I've searched all the years. This is the only year that appears. So, if the abomination event has 5782 in it, which aligns with this year, and then his coming aligns with 5783, that may tell you the nature of what is about to transpire. And again, no predictions, no certainties, just statistical anomalies in the 3,000-year-old book. Now, let's look at the structure of this table. It's pretty amazing, and I'm going to show you the kicker at the very end, which, as I said, all of these messages to us have started with "Fear not." I'm sure, actually, if I search "Fear not," it will be in here. So maybe I'll do that and tack it on to the end of this. But the kicker is pretty amazing. So this is the access term. He comes as the storm here in the red that I've drawn the yellow box around, like I typically do with the access terms. You can see that this table's just got an amazing structure. We're talking about, what is the storm? It's this atomic missiles signaled by the blood moon involving Joseph Biden and the Remnant, and it literally, it's in the USA. It says Sukkot in the time of COVID, the third war. Starts in Kiev. I did in this table see whether start was in here, and it is, and it's right in this area, and that deception is linked to all of this. This war that they are fighting, that our Heavenly Father is allowing as part of His plan, is over the throne of Wales. We kind of talked about that. Brother Chris talks about that all the time. So as you can see, pretty tight alignment of the topic of this table with the previous Abomination of Desolation table. They're in fact in the same data set. They're different slices through that data set. Here's the kicker. So who is it that comes on the storm? So I'll open up Code Finder. I got to load a new file. So I'm going to pause and then show you once I load it. So again, here's now that table loaded in Code Finder in the live data, not with the English markup, so I can translate it. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to show you the relationship between the access term here in red and the one who comes on the storm, and that is Yahushua. Had a skip of 12. Somebody remind me how many disciples there were? Pretty amazing. So I hope this speaks to you. If you have been waiting in great anticipation, I hope this is uplifting for you. Again, we've received the word, He comes on the storm. Do fear not. Fear not. All right, this is going to blow you away. So I looked at the words fear not, and this is how it's spelled in Hebrew. Every time in the book of Isaiah, fear not is said, it is spelled with these letters. Aleph, Lamed, Tau, Yod, Resh, Aleph. And I put it in and it's there. In the He Comes on the Storm table. And we know who we're talking about. And here's the most amazing thing. Fear not is here, and then it is also here. It forms a cross going across the table. Aleph, Lamed, Tau, Yod, Resh, Aleph, and then in the other direction, Aleph, Lamed, Tau, Yod, Resh, Aleph. So my brothers and sisters, I hope that gives you great expectancy. I'm a messenger. These are statistical anomalies in a 3,000-year-old book. They're not for predictions, but I'm trying to get the message out about the combination of dreams, visions, codes, everything that we've received to let us know what's just around the corner, and that is time is short. So that's it. I'm your brother Martin. I will see you in the next video.